Hey, welcome back. It's Simply Gabby. Thanks for coming back to my channel for another video. So last week's video, I'll link it down below if you want to see it. It was, what did I do? It was my vitiligo update with my repigmentation journey. So if you want to see that, I'll link it down below and also put it up here. But this week's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about something that I had on my mind, and it goes along with what to do if you know somebody with vitiligo, whether it's like a friend, a family member, like someone you go to school with, somebody you see at the supermarket, or whatever, somebody that you know that has it. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that because I wish that some of these things would have been done for me when I was younger. So I hope that whoever is watching this, I hope that this helps you understand a little bit better about what goes on when you have vitiligo, so, and how others can help you. So just keep watching, and if you like this video, just like it down below and make sure to subscribe. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. So let me take out my trusty list. So what to do if somebody that you know has vitiligo? I know it can be like confusing. So let's say if you have like a daughter, or like your mom has it, whatever. I think that the first thing that everybody should know, whether or not it's somebody that it's a stranger or it's a family member, I think everyone should be aware that they shouldn't be staring for like long periods of time. I know it's natural to stare, but everybody who has vitiligo, we know we have it, we're very insecure about it. Or we were at one time, so we're very well aware that we have it and what we look like. So staring isn't going to make it magically disappear because you don't like it. It's not going to make anybody feel better, so I don't really understand the purpose. But if you notice that you're staring, try to stop doing that, because it doesn't really provide any purpose for anybody. Even if you're the one doing the staring, it doesn't really help you do anything. If you want to know more about it, you can Google it or go up and ask about it, you know, but just looking at them, doesn't help. So try to limit your staring if you're doing any. The next thing that I would have loved as a child and growing up and to this day is to be, talked about it with me. So when I was growing up, it was kind of seen as a really touchy subject for my family. Nobody wanted to ask me about it because they didn't want to upset me. And at the time, that felt like the best thing for me. But I noticed that it made me really sensitive to when people at school would ask me about it, or strangers would ask me about it. I was really shocked, and I didn't know what to say because I'd never spoken about it before. I would get super upset. And they wouldn't understand why, because some of them were just asking a question, but to me it felt like an attack because I had never talked about it before. I had never been asked about it. So it felt like not talking about it was the good thing to do at that time, but it really didn't help me at all, because when somebody went to ask me about it, I was so scared and I didn't want to talk about it. I would go and cry, and it just doesn't help anybody. And then it just doesn't serve any good. It doesn't do anything. I think if you have a daughter, I think the best thing that you could do for your daughter or family member or friend is to talk about it, because they need to know that it's okay to talk about. They need to learn to answer questions about it, how to defend themselves, things like that. So it's really, really, really important to talk about it with somebody, whether it's another friend or your mom or whatever. So I think you should really talk about it. The next thing is, I think that I didn't get any compliments as a child, so I think that getting compliments of any sort would be super helpful, because when I was going to school, I would bundle up, make sure nobody could see me, and then I would be really scared that someone was going to draw attention to it. I was really scared of anybody talking about it or seeing it, or like, and honestly, people that I went to school with weren't really all that accepting, and they weren't very nice. Most people didn't want to talk to me. I only had a couple friends growing up, and God bless you guys. So like, those people are, the people that were my friends were very, very accepting, didn't judge me by it, and just wanted to be friends. But the other people wouldn't even look at me, wouldn't talk to me, would stare at me when they thought I couldn't see. They would talk about me, and then it would get back to me. So I think if you are an accepting person, maybe give the person that has this a little bit of a compliment, even if it's not a compliment on their vitiligo, something. Hey, I like your shirt. Because when you, I don't speak for everybody that has vitiligo, but I feel like this could help a lot of people with it, because we go through some of the same things. So I know not everybody felt this way, but I certainly did. So getting a compliment of any sort, even if someone said, hey, I like your shirt, it's like, it's nice knowing that not everything is about my skin, and that's not the only thing that people notice about me. So, and the next most important thing that I would have loved to have is, and I did have some friends, so everyone who was actually my friend, thank you so much for being my friend, because I really needed it. So thank you to everyone who was really kind to me during my childhood. Yes. So I would have loved for someone to listen to me about this. I would have loved for someone to ask me questions about it and make it seem like, just ask me questions about it, and don't make it, and not make it like it was such a big deal. I would like it to just be and something that we just have. It would be nice if somebody would just listen about it, ask questions, try to understand it. It helps both people, because the person with vitiligo can talk about it and the other person can learn about it and learn more about you and how you feel about it. And it would have been super nice to just talk about it and to start to understand it myself a little bit more, so I know that it's not such a bad thing. Another thing is, don't treat the person with vitiligo any differently than anybody else. As somebody growing up with vitiligo, I felt like, I still feel to this day that people treat me differently, like I'm handicapped almost, or like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like people feel sorry for me, and then sometimes I feel like people are disgusted by me. So I just would like to be treated the same as the next person. So because when people look at me, they're like, ooh, something's not right. They try to figure it out what it is, and then they put me in this box, and then they label it as ugly or weird or whatever. So I don't want to be treated differently than anybody else who has just normal skin. You know, there's many different races of people all over the world, so I think that this could be considered its own race as well. So I just think that we need to accept people for what they are, instead of just wishing they were different. That would save so much time, don't you think? Just get over it. So, I mean, I just don't want to be treated differently, because it's not a big deal, you know? It shouldn't be a big deal. So when you talk about it, if you want to ask about it, don't make it like it's a big deal. Don't make it like a touchy subject. Just talk about it like anything else. On the inside, it feels like everything can be wrong. We don't fit in. We're not even belonging to our own race. You know, it can feel really out of place sometimes, and it can cause a lot of like social issues, anxiety. It can even cause some pretty serious like mental conditions, because you feel like no matter what you do, you're not going to fit in. So, and that started for me when I was really young. I didn't ever feel like I would fit in. I felt like I was so out of place that no matter what I did, I would always be different. So if you're watching this and you have vitiligo, it can also, to get these things that you need to feel better about it, you need to communicate with the people who you love and who want you to understand you. And this, again, is not me speaking for everybody that has vitiligo. Some people might have not had any issues growing up. Some people probably just dealt with it and moved on, but a lot of us, especially me, I didn't really move on for a long time. And even though it doesn't impact me like 95% as much as it used to, there are still days where I feel like I don't fit in. So even if you feel like somebody is doing really well with it, just, take a look at me. A lot of the days I'm fine. Most days I'm fine and I love just the way I am. But then there are some days where, it feels like I don't. So, just take that in consideration. Feelings do change. Today you might not feel so good, but tomorrow you could feel better. If somebody has it, introduce them to the vitiligo community. Let us get to know them. Just put them out there. So help them put themselves out there so we can help them and we can join hands and, get through this together. So I hope this helps everybody. So if you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. Thanks so much for watching. Love you guys.